Radiance file. So I just made this in the previous tutorial, and I just thought it's a good opportunity to do it because we've sort of built it up, and there's a few things going on here. I could have shown you a few other bits and pieces in the old one, but don't worry about it. What I wanted to show you is that if you go to Radiance Extras, um, there's a function to get Radiance material specifications. I'm so big on, like, you understand what's actually happening in this file, and rather than just sort of where I've tried to make it really in your face of, like, what's happening, what Radiance is going to calculate, not assuming that this Revit format will be the same as the Radiance format. You are looking at the Radiance format, but furthermore, it's like you entered some particular reflectances, didn't you? I entered some reflectances and window transmissions. How do we know that, maybe, you just sort of what did I put in? Like, now I've sort of we had the information exposed of sorts at one time, but we knew what we've put in. But again, I want to show you what the computer is actually seeing. So there's one thing here called get Radiance material specifications, and it's as simple as just plug that in. I'm on automatic, yeah, and I'm going to use the if you go into helpful, node output to notepad. Um, it's a really useful thing. It's a, it doesn't come pre-packaged with Dynamo, and this is, so basically these are the materials that are in this geometry here. Do you remember how we made ball in the last one, and I said it was 50%, and there's ceiling, exterior, floor, glazing, walls. These are all the reflectances that happened. Something else that happened in the do you remember there's like the prep the prep option. This was already prepped, but do you remember here the code? There was the prep Radiance geometry, and one of the things it did, if you think about it, you put in this one with its own definition of materials, a wall, a floor, a ceiling, and then you put in this one here with its own definition of a wall, a floor, a ceiling. But now when we look on this notepad here, there's not two walls and floors and two ceilings, etc. There's only one, because here it recognized that you had duplicated data. If you tried to put in like two identical material files, like into any software, really, it's going to get confused. So what it did is it picked that up and it dumped the duplicate. Um, and I suppose I'm getting a bit tired of constantly writing my documents, but I'll do it to show you. Test final, um, um, for example, right? Yeah. Okay. So if I, it's really irritating. It just keeps randomly loading. Right. If I put that in there, and I just want to show you, see how there's rejected data here. What that rejected data is look, see, like it's actually looking for this does a huge amount. I actually forget how much. I was showing someone else in the office the other week, and I forgot just how much stuff it's doing just to stop errors from happening. But it's checking, have you duplicated materials, or are there materials that have a bad definition? So I'm collecting these things that could either it's finding the things will either give you a bad result or will crash Radiance. Better Radiance crashes than gives you the wrong result. But it found no bad materials, it found no bad polygons, and it found no, just miscellaneous stuff. But what's important here is if it's cutting something out of the file, it's telling you, so you know what went wrong. If something went wrong. So it's not finding anything wrong because obviously I'd already passed it through exactly the same node in the previous tutorial. So not surprisingly, everything is good. But again, it's just loading for no reason. Actually, I think I've got a RAM problem here because it's yeah. Asked for a new laptop 9 months, no, 7 months ago. Asked for a new laptop, still waiting. It's been approved, just they're just not giving me one. Okay, so here's one. So you can find the material specifications. What else you can do is you can somewhere there's get dimensions. So um, it's this is actually buried in other. It's buried in like it's actually buried in here as well. But I've kind of exposed it for you. I don't know because it just might be useful for whatever reason. So it's very little effort for me to show this. But if I plug this one into here now, so these are the maximum dimensions of the entire scene. So this will help you. Like, has something gone a little bit wrong? You could check here. Yeah, you could look and say, wow, it's 100 meters big. Maybe you've got a bit of rogue geometry hidden somewhere, or something like that. It's just another way for you to sort of interrogate the file, you know. And what's the last thing I wanted to show you? Rotate, make a range geometry, import a grid, combine. Uh, you see how there's material specifications and there's material arguments. These arguments here are what they are is they are like in like sort of Radiance language. So this will mean nothing to most people, but when you open this, this is like how um, this this here is to Radiance. This to Radiance is what was the first one I showed you? Is this is to us, you know? So that's like computer language for that. But again, it's just sort of getting a bit closer to the computer code, yeah. And again, if something's going like really wrong, or it's just another way of exposing the data, and we can check and work more quickly to see what's happened. So I just wanted to show you those sort of extra functions of how you can look a little bit deeper into the file. As I say, if it sits in the extras, you don't have to use it if you don't want to, but they are just some facilities that are available to you. Okay, and right, the next one is on the calculations, I promise.